Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the total market cap chart to have an idea where the general market is going, or what's happening in the general market here. So I'm going to start with the monthly time frame. And here in the monthly time frame, we can see that the price went already below the 20-month moving average. Bitcoin, BTC didn't go below the 20-month moving average, but because the altcoins did go way lower than the 20-month moving average, since this chart includes Bitcoin and altcoins, we are just below the 20-month moving average. So my view is that we are somewhere here. If we compare this to the 2014 bear market, I continue to say we are somewhere here, and we are not far from capitulation. Of course, altcoins were very extended in the downside, so it's normal to have a little bounce. We had two bullish weeks here in the two previous monthly candles, so this is signaling we are, we could be seeing a bounce here. Especially altcoins could go higher than they did already. I know they pumped a lot. I think they could pump a little bit more before we get rejected. So I think we're somewhere here. This is repeating very similar to the 2014 bear market. So I think we're here. You see this candle here, the price went way higher than the 20-month moving average here, but it ended up closing below it, and from here got rejected, and then we saw capitulation, which was the last stage of the bear market. This is usually how markets bottom, guys. I made a tutorial like really long ago, like maybe at the beginning of my YouTube channel, maybe like 1.5 years ago or something, where I was explaining market cycles, and this doesn't apply only for crypto, this applies for any markets. Bear markets typically end with capitulation, guys. Capitulation means a long vertical red candle that happens after a long downtrend. So after a long bear market, usually, the last stage of the bear market is a slow bleed down, like slow bleeding, and then when people can't take the pain anymore or the losses anymore, they just sell the bottom, and then you have capitulation. The capitulation happens after a downtrend. It doesn't happen after a rally usually. It happens after a slow bleed down. So, and right at the bottom, you see a big pump, because usually, institutional investors will have their orders set, at some low price. So you see a big bounce because all these orders got filled. So you see a pump here, and then a few more people that needs to sell. Boom, 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 they sell a little bit more. Sometimes the actual bottom gets retested eventually, but basically goes sideways, maybe going down slowly again, maybe getting close to the actual bottom, and then, but this bottom, it's never broken in the downside again, and that's usually the end of the bear market, and from there we can start uptrending again. So I have not seen this in Bitcoin, BTC. I have not seen this on the total market cap chart. So I'm waiting for capitulation. Also, this previous bear market corrected 81%. And in the current bear market so far, we corrected 77%. So there's a difference. Guys, if we would have corrected 80 or 85%, if we would have had capitulation already, then I would be a lot more bullish than I am right now. The reason I'm not bullish at all is because I'm waiting for these two signs to show up before I can actually call the bottom. I'm waiting for capitulation, and I'm waiting for at least 80-85% correction from the all-time highs in the general market. So I'm waiting for these two things. If at least one of these two things was true, would have happened already, I would be a little bit more open, to be bullish, to call the bottom here. But I'm not confident at all calling the bottom, because yeah, I didn't see capitulation. Two, we didn't correct enough for what crypto usually corrects, because just like crypto goes stupid overvalued, it usually goes stupid undervalued as well. And then the other thing is the market sentiment. I don't see people being as bearish as usually, you know, people are at bottoms of bear markets. That's just how it works. So that's what I have for the monthly. I guess the short message is, yes, I wouldn't be surprised that we have a pump here, go above the 20-month moving average. I'd say, let's see, I think we are close from getting rejected again. I don't think we would be going higher than, let's see, you see here happened the same thing. It was finding support and bouncing, and it took a very long time to actually break below this. And once it broke below this, it went back up to retest and got rejected and get capitulation. So I think we are at the same, you know, stage here. You see this support here, it bounced one time, two times. It took a long time to break, but now it already broke below it. We're just bouncing to retest this level, and I think we will get rejected here, just like we got rejected here. But here it overperformed in the upside a little bit. So yeah, if this overperforms a little bit in the upside, maybe 260, I'd say. Like, I think I'm being generous here if we get to 260 before getting rejected, but yeah, that's what I can see here. On the weekly, we had a bearish cross on the moving averages not that long ago. This is quite recently for a, you know, for a weekly chart. So we can see here when the moving averages crossed bearish, the price was actually going up, and it bounced off the moving averages. I mean, it didn't get to touch them, but it was close enough that this was a really good entry for a short position, because the moving averages strategy says that you sell or go short on a bearish cross, but sometimes when the bearish cross happens, the price is all the way down already, very extended down. So that's not a good short entry, because it's not going to give you a good risk-reward ratio. But in this case, as it happens sometimes, the price actually bounced into the cross, or, you know, it got very close from moving averages, and that gives you a really good short entry here. So it would have been ideal to short here as close from moving averages as possible, and technically you could hold this short until the bottom, until we get an actual reversal, not just little pumps here. You know, so until the price really goes above moving averages and stays above them and uses them as a support instead of resistance, you could technically be holding this short here. So, but yeah, and now I think we're gonna get rejected somewhere near moving averages. I said before, because altcoins are very, very extended in the downside, we could see overperformance in the upside because they really need to bounce. I wouldn't be surprised, not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised that this actually goes above the 20-week moving average for a little bit. We would have a very strong support at this peak here, 300 billion, but I don't think it'll go to 300 billion, because first it needs to break this support here that was such a strong support for such a long time. Now it became very strong resistance, and this is at the 240 250 billion level. So yes, it could go above this level for a minute, you know, overperform in the upside, breaking above 250, but end up getting rejected very heavily and closing the candle below 250. I don't think 250 will break in the upside, and if it does, I don't think it will hold. It would be like a fake out, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'd say 250 to 60 maximum. I think I'm being generous here. But yeah, basically we're downtrending. We have very clear lower highs and lower lows. So, you know, follow the until the end. Okay, so on the daily, guys, things change here, right? The more you zoom in and the more you go into smaller time frames, you see a different direction on the trends. So on the daily and time frames, we are actually uptrending. As I said, we are bouncing because altcoins were very, very, very extended in the downside. So we are doing higher highs and higher lows here on a daily scale, as you can see. So if you are trading smaller time frames, then it's fine to play it long, you know, to enter long here Let me activate the lines. So it's okay to play it long. You could draw a little channel here or a little uptrend. This would be support, something like that. And if we copy paste this, resistance would be somewhere here. So you could play this little channel or this little uptrend until it doesn't hold and it breaks, because trends don't last forever, right? This will break at some point eventually, but for now it's okay to buy support and sell resistance, buy support and sell resistance, because in smaller time frames we are actually uptrending. So yeah, the daily a little bit hard to trade, but I'm gonna do the 4 hours and 1 hour now. Maybe it's it's gonna be easier to time entries in the smaller you go, if you intend to open long positions. But yeah, basically the price already went above moving averages in the daily chart, and it seems moving averages want to cross bullish here. So maybe it'd be a good if the price retraces a little bit here and maybe entering in would be okay for a long position here, for a short-term long position here. So in the 4 hours we can see the price action a little bit better. Yeah, it's clearly uptrending, higher highs and higher lows. Right now it's like in the middle of the channel here, so it's not good to enter a position right now, as I'm recording this video. But when the price eventually touches support here, that would be a good opportunity to enter a long position using a tight stop loss, setting your stop loss below the previous low. It gives you a good risk reward here, even if you want to take profit at 230 or 240. That's what I would do personally. I wouldn't hold it long for higher than that. But as I said, if we get overperformance in the upside, we can go as high as 250 to 60. I find it a little bit risky to hold it long for to those highs, but hey, if you are more risky and if you have your stop loss in place and you manage your risk, then there's nothing wrong with that. If you trade smaller time frames in a smaller time frame, so hey, that's what you do in trading. You follow the trend until the end when it bends. So it's okay to trade it long here, so long as you wait for the price to be at support. Of course, don't enter long at any random place, because that's not trading, that's gambling. You wait for the price to be at your support line, and then you enter with a stop loss and a profit target. I wouldn't be buy and hold at these levels, but yeah, for short term positions, I think it's okay to follow the trend going up in these smaller time frames, always having consideration the bigger the dominant trend in bigger time frames. And that's the dominant trend in bigger time frames is bearish, so always take profit at resistance if you are trading long the smaller time frames. The 1 hour basically very similar to the 4 hour one. We are trading inside this little uptrend, so wait for a retracement if you want to enter long here. What I would say though, guys, is as soon as this channel breaks in the downside, it'll eventually break. When? I don't know. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball. That's why I always say in trading, you follow the trend until the end when it bends. You don't know exactly when it's going to bend and break. You can have an idea of it by looking at bigger time frames, just like I did with the monthly and weekly. Where the resistances are, looking at bigger time frames, so you can have an idea. It might reverse, between 240 and 250 or 260. That's a very, very strong resistance, but hey, in the end you really don't know when it's going to reverse, so you can trade continuation. What I want to say here though is that when it does break support, which it will eventually, because the trend is not going to last forever, I would be ready to enter short positions. Whether it breaks support today or in 1 month, it doesn't matter. You follow this trend for as long as it lasts. Even if it breaks, all the way up here when it's at 2, even if you have to wait that much, whatever it is, whether it's now or here next month, once this line breaks, I would be shorting. Like, that's a very great opportunity to short, because when trend lines are broken, especially in bear markets, usually you have vertical movements in the downside. I mean, I could show you 1,000 examples here. Look at the last time this happened. It was following the line, following the line, following the line, and once the line broken, boom, vertical movement down. Let's see the previous line when it was broken. This is what happens when trend lines are broken, guys. It's a great opportunity to short when a trend line is broken in a bear market. So this one was following the line here. You can see it's pretty clear trend line. It had quite a few touches here, 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 here. Once it broke, look, it went down vertical, it went back up to retest and got rejected and boom, all the way down. So when trend lines are broken, here we have another example. Just do this yourself in each little uptrend that you can see, that you can draw a trend line. A trend line is valid when it's been touched 3 times. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So at least 3 times or more, it's a valid trend line. Look at what happened when it breaks, boom, all the way down. What else? You can do this in every little uptrend that you see here. Let's see. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, it breakout here went up 4 times, and when it's you see the moment it breaks, it just goes boom, vertical. So, and yeah, you can expect the same thing to happen as soon as this one breaks. So when a line is broken, really good opportunity to enter short, so I would be preparing for that. For me personally, for my trading style, I wouldn't be entering long more, or maybe I would enter long the last time if this goes and touch support. Yes, you could enter another long, but I would be taking profit at 240 max. Even if it goes to 260, I don't really care, because I know it's there's very strong resistance there to be, you know, opening long positions. And you know, if I enter a last trade here and I take profit at like 40, then I just wait. I just, you know, sit back and wait and wait and wait, and I don't care how high it goes. I will wait to enter short whenever that happens. That's how I would play it, guys. That's what I can see. And I think that's all that I have for today. I hope it was educational, guys. That's the point of these videos. And yeah, that's all. So thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe on the website if you want to be notified of new videos here. Just drop your email address here and subscribe and validate your email, confirm your email, and you'll be notified of new videos. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.